What's up, everybody? You're watching JoeBox TV, giving you my post-fight review for Anthony Joshua versus Alexander Povetkin. And before you get started, I predicted the exact round. I gotta say, I gotta brag a little bit here. I predicted 7th round knockout for Anthony Joshua. I predicted that at one point of the fight he would get rocked, and that happened. I actually gave Povetkin 4 of the first 6 rounds. I had him up 4 rounds to 2 before the knockout in round 7, as I predicted. Take a look at my prediction. Let's roll the tape. I think you could definitely see a moment or two where Povetkin shakes him up. With that being said, I think Joshua's physical attributes and advantages in strength are going to be too much. I think he grinds down Povetkin and stops him in round, I'm going to say round 7. Boom! How about it? Okay, now let me give you my full analysis of how it went down. I actually gave the first 3 rounds to Alexander Povetkin. He has a very unpredictable timing, and he's very creative the way he loops that right hand around the guard, over the top, works his way inside with those quick little left hooks and uppercuts, and they were working well for him in those first 3 rounds. Joshua was not really using his height in the first 3 rounds. He wasn't jabbing, at least not as much as he should have. He was kind of in a crouch position, and when Povetkin was able to get on the inside with head movement and those quick, snappy power shots, he had a lot of success early. Then Povetkin started to get reckless. It seemed like he was getting a little bit tired, and as Joshua started to land his jab and utilize it the way he should have, that's when Povetkin started missing, started getting reckless. So like I said, I gave the first 3 rounds to Povetkin. I gave the 4th to Joshua. 5th round I thought Povetkin won because he got back to landing that left hook, and Joshua again was caught off guard. Round 6, again Joshua goes back to the jab and starts having more success. Makes Povetkin miss. One thing I do want to point out, they were about to rob Povetkin. I mean, a draw after 3 rounds apiece wouldn't have been ridiculous. But 2 judges had Joshua winning in the fight. 1 judge had it 5 rounds to 1. But nevertheless, 7th round, Joshua just cracks him with the right hand, as Povetkin is sluggish at this point. Credit to Povetkin for getting up after the first knockdown, but he was done. Joshua pounced on him. The referee stepped in and called a halt to the fight. So congrats to Anthony Joshua. And then he was asked the inevitable question that we all knew he'd be asked. What's his next opponent? Because he already has a fight booked at Wembley Stadium, April 13th, 2019. If you ask me, it absolutely has to be the winner of Deontay Wilder versus Tyson Fury, which was just announced. That fight's going to happen December 1st in Los Angeles at Staples Center. Joshua absolutely, positively must fight the winner. And it seems like that's going to happen. I'm going to be optimistic here and give Joshua the benefit of the doubt and say that happens. But here's what Joshua said in his post-fight interview. He said he'd be willing to do that he would do that assuming there's no mandatories. But anyway, I hope he doesn't have to face a mandatory or anything that robs us of the possibility of either Joshua Wilder or Joshua Fury. On the undercard, Luke Campbell got his revenge over Yvonne Mendy. In their first fight, Yvonne Mendy won a close decision, and ultimately the knockdown was the difference in the first fight. Second fight, completely different story. The rematch took place on the undercard. Mendy got off to a good start, landed some good right hand leads, had Campbell on his heels, but Campbell adjusted very well, kept him on the end of that jab. That long jab from the southpaw stance, and he completely outworked Mendy. I mean, Mendy did a good job of catching a lot of the shots off his gloves, but he just wasn't active enough. And I thought Campbell looked pretty good in his performance. So congrats to Luke Campbell. There was another fight on the undercard that I want to mention, the Lawrence Okolie-Matty Askin fight. And I don't usually say this, and I mean this, I want to say this respectfully, but this was a pretty dreadful fight. I mean, honestly, the only thing fun about this fight was counting how many clinches. I mean, so many clinches and headbutts. Okolie was deducted 3 points, but ultimately came away with a decision because Matty Askin didn't really do much himself. And Okolie did enough offensive work in spots to get away with a decision in one of the uglier fights I've seen in recent memory. So, again, tell me your thoughts on the whole card. First of all, who's going to win Wilder Fury? And how do you see Joshua matching up against those two guys, if Wilder wins or Fury wins? Until next time, Joe Box TV, out.